Hello, this is SoundOut here, and welcome back to another SoundOut discussion. Today we'll be talking about packaging, marketing, and confusing DVD releases. Because I just got back, arrived 2 days later than I was supposed to. So, I was going to do a review between Wednesday and Saturday, but it's now Friday, and a video needs to be done. So, we're going to talk about DVDs. I'm going to be covering things I didn't talk about in the last video. Hopefully this one isn't as long, because I don't want to spend the time rendering so much. But I will be talking about marketing of DVDs, packaging, and confusing releases, because there's a lot of those. Let's look at the celebrating 5 decades of Bond 007, the Bond 50 collection. This was done as a specialty set before the release of Skyfall that contained every James Bond movie on Blu-ray, and this is all the Eon production ones, so Never Say Never Again is not included, which is fine by me. Also, the original Casino Royale is not included, which is fine by me. For the Eon production things, I think having it all in one set like this is really cool. Now, the DVD version was a silver with gold accent, and then the Blu-ray version is a gold with a silver accent, which is really cool. And this is one of the fanciest boxes, but I gotta say, it's quite a freight, and it's quite sturdy too. I've had to move this around a few times. You can see you get all 6 Bond actors on the front, which is cool. You get a little sidebar saying it's Blu-ray. You can see the back is peeling up a little bit here. That's also because I live in a desert and it's hot. On the body, you can see the ratings and runtimes for all the films, which is really cool. And, as you can see, they have dated 1962 to 1981 and 1983 to 2012. Book 1, which is the 1962 to 1981, or the Silver Book. So you got the Silver Book here. It lists what movies are included on the inside or on the back, which is really nice, his movies. And then you get each Bond girl next to their movie. So you got Dr. No, you got Honey Rider, so you got, From Russia with Love. They have the dates and the Bond girl. I think that's really cool. The next page, you got more images, and these are from Goldfinger and Thunderball, which is pretty neat overall. And you can see you got the corresponding Bond Majesty Secret Service is on this page, and this is his one shot to have a page, because that was his one shot to be in a Bond movie. There you got 67, 69. Then you get here, Roger Moore era begins with Live and Let Die. No need to have Sean Connery here again, just because Diamonds Are Forever is here. You can see there is images from Diamonds Are Forever, which is nice. Now we have The Man with the Golden Gun and The Spy Who Loved Me. Some more Roger Moore. Pretty cool. Christopher Lee. Awesome actor. And more Bond. Riker and For Your Eyes Only. I'm getting into the 80s here. And I believe we want to go to the summarized credits for each movie, which is really cool. Now we'll move on to the Gold Book, which is 1983 to 2012. So you got all that there, very similar setup. It does have Skyfall coming 2013. I'll get to that in a second. Plus the bonus lights and License to Kill, which is nice because that's Timothy Dalton's page. So, pretty cool. And then you have Pierce Brosnan's GoldenEye and Tomorrow Never Dies, with images there. And then you have his other 2 films, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, Dalton to Pierce Brosnan to Pierce Brosnan, and then to Daniel Craig for you get a bonus disc. But here on 2012, Skyfall. This was a little paper insert, said insert your Skyfall disc here, and so when the Skyfall Blu-ray came out, popped the disc in here, and now we're good to go. And you can see all 6 Bonds there, which is pretty nice. And just like with the other book, you do have a couple pages of the film's credits, minus Skyfall, because that was quite pricey, because it is, I think it's 28 films in a Blu-ray format. You want to present it nice. You want to have this nice packaging so that, your audience buying it feels like they got a good deal, and it's not just a bunch of discs. Good old Viz Media. I hinted at this last time, but we're finally going to talk about a sore spot I have with Viz Media, and that will be with their Naruto DVD releases. Naruto. An anime series that probably has run too long, a manga series that finally ended, and a franchise that's pretty popular overall. I really liked the original Naruto series. It was right when I was getting into anime was when the dub came out on Toonami, and I got super into it, obviously, because this is the entire original series run, a nice 16-volume set of the edited Toonami release, which also has the English theme song that's not on any of these. This is the original Japanese version, as well as an English dub that is uncut. So it has all the violence, it has all the language, everything that was cut out for the broadcast. And so the volumes are edited, but these uncut box sets are obviously uncut. So I did double dip a bit because these weren't announced when the edited DVDs came out. So I have all different shades of colors. Like you see, this is a green here. It's a lighter than this green here on Volume 9. They're all metallic, and I think that is a really visual, striking thing. This is something you don't get with the C. Up until, I think it was, Volume 10 was the last one to come with big bonuses, and then these came with playing cards, which is actually pretty neat. But anyways, each of these box sets comes in a nice reflective box. This bonus features, which includes production arts and storyboard comparisons, along with a sneak peek of Volume 2. Then you open the box, and you're like, wow, okay, well, so we got full color artwork. We get 13 episodes in this set. When this set came out, I believe the regular edition was $35 or so. And dual audio, sure. The thing is that that's a high price if this was just a normal DVD, but it actually includes some fun stuff, like an Episode 8 storyboard. This is the actual storyboard that was done for the series in Japan, and it is the complete storyboard for Episode 8, untranslated in the original Japanese format. It's basically just a copy. This is the entire storyboard for Episode 8, which I think is probably one of my favorite episodes of the series, but I gotta say that this is just really cool, as this is really how you can compare it to the screen, you can compare it to the manga, and you get a whole experience out of that. And that's something I really, really liked with these sets, was that each of them had a storyboard book. And that 13 episodes. But the box is this nice, you feel a lot better. You can see Volume 2 here, same thing. It's just, this artwork is amazing. It's the promotional art for the series, but the way it's placed and how it's placed, it's just fantastic. As you can see there, each disc gets its own little spot. And I really just want to show this off. Here's Episode 15 storyboard, but I'm not going to flip through all of those. But yeah, it's like you only get 13 episodes of Volume, so you don't get Volume 3. You start getting to the Orochimaru stuff and the Sand Village. Vented. This is what I feel like, if you're going to charge $35 for an anime volume, like a 13-episode anime volume, package them like this, because I do not mind paying that price when the boxes are this nice. And then they start putting characters on the front, which even add it to. You can see the inside cover here. You can see you got Jiraiya, and it's giving us success. We want the uncut version out there. And honestly, I think this is anything from Shippuden, or the fact that none of the Shippuden volumes are out here, because the quality did not keep up. Unfortunately, they do start dipping in quality even in this set when we hit the filler arc, because there is that 90 episodes of filler at the end of the show. And we'll get to that here in a second. I know I'm only on Volume 9 now. Volume 11, I think, is when the filler starts, but I want to get through all these because I just want to show these off, because these aren't available anymore as far as I can tell. They have the new season set re-releases, but these... so there is that factor going on. That's just a really cool cover art. Anyways, you can see that's actually stuck in there. Okay. So you can see Volume topped, including the storyboard books. This was the first sign, I think, was they did the playing cards, actually. And one of them came with a box, and then it's like, oh, if you buy all the volumes, you can get a whole deck of playing cards. I actually have those and use them regularly, so that's pretty nice. You see we got Rock Lee here. So yeah, they tried to stick it so that they didn't repeat any characters on the covers of the volumes, but I think they did duplicate Naruto. Maybe. I'll need to look. But you can see Kakashi on Volume 13. So the volumes 11 through 16 aren't as appealing because they don't have those neat bonuses. They don't have the storyboard books anymore. But they still are nice. They still keep the quality and the consistency. The sets are smaller sized because there's no book, and that's understandable. But died shortly after Shippuden started, because I tried getting into it, but the storylines kept going darker than I felt like the series ever needed to go, and it just didn't really appeal to me all that much. Plus, it has a ton of filler, so it's really hard to marathon in that sense. But the thing that did put me off the DVDs, even more than that, was that we have these nice 16 volumes of Naruto, consistent look. And then here's Shippuden Volume 1. This is the first box set for Shippuden, original uncut. It's in a cheaper cardboard. You can see the corners peel. It's just 3 cases. I mean, they have nice artwork, but 3 cases in a slipcase here. As far, they have neat art on the front and the back, but $35 for this, which is only if I'm not watching the show hardly. Like, it just kind of killed it for me. Honestly, I think that the holographic original series set is still really cool to have. I feel like if they kept this style, or if they started with this style. These for Digimon, I bought the first season when it was like $80, and I was like, there's got to be something on these discs. They can't be charging $80 a season at this point. And they were. Amazon lowered the price to about $50 a season now, which is fine. They're mostly 50-episode shows. But the thing was that I'd ordered Season 1, I got it, I was like, this is a really nice presentation, but there's not enough content to justify spending $30 over what I should. It should have been a $54 set, 54 episodes. That's usually how I roll with pricing. Now this thing is the official Seasons 1 through 4 collection that they released before they put out Season 5. They could have made it a Season 1 through 5 set and then just had Fusion in its own thing. But they went 1 to 4. That's the original run of the series before the break. It's fair enough. Now, this set was about retails for $230. Most sites I see sell at $150, $160, which isn't bad for what you get. Seasons 2, 3, and 4. So I was like, well, I'll just get it at some point because it was sitting at $125. And then one night it dropped to $75. And I was like, well, that's less than what I paid for Season 1. I got to do it now. So I went ahead and got this. Yeah, I duplicated Season 1, but here we are. Seasons 1 through 4. Now this is just a compilation set of the individual season sets, which have individual volumes if you are into that. And what's kind of 4 cases cracked, I just swapped it from extra Season 1. So that solved that problem. But I like the holographicness. I like holographic things on expensive sets. You can see you got all 4 seasons' main protagonists with the... I don't think the poster needed to be this important. Like, if this was just Tai and Agumon, that'd be fine. I wish this was a sticker I could remove, because this is really jarring, and I can't display the set like this, because it's just awkward. But it is 205 episodes on 32 discs. You can see it has all the sets back here, gives you a whole rundown of the show. Now, let's talk about its famous poster. The poster is this artwork blown up to a large poster size. Pretty neat. Now, what's interesting about my set, and this is different with others, my Season 1 set in this set had a slipcover. Everything else didn't. There also, one of them, I think Season 3 was wrapped in plastic. Season 2 had a security tag. It was weird. There wasn't really consistency. But, talking about Digimon, if you do buy these individually, you will get slipcovers for all of them, or at least should. You see the slipcovers have a nice reflective thing. That is so handy. I love it when companies do this, because this makes my life so much easier. See each of the Digidestin with their partner Digimon on each disc, which is really nice. It gives a nice credit to all 8 Digidestin. Kara usually gets the short end of the stick when it comes to marketing. And then you also get this really cool 34-page booklet. I'm not even joking, it's a 34-page booklet. Now this has bios on every Digimon from the main series, as every Digidestin, their partner Digimon, and all their Digivolutions, which is really cool. Magical Fire instead of Spiral Twister. They have twisting in the... It's kind of weird. It seems like this was translated from... you have Mega Blaster / Electroshocker, Japanese / English. So it's kind of weird. It's kind of like trying to cover both bases, almost as if this was a dual audio set, but it's... this may hurt a little bit. They swapped Zudomon and Ikakumon's names only up there. Down here they're fine, but up here they're wrong. bugs me a little bit. Also, for whatever reason, we have song lyrics to Butterfly, Braveheart, and Keep On. English translated lyrics to the Japanese songs that do not appear in this set. It almost seems like this was supposed to be dual audio at some point, but it wasn't, and that's probably because the English dub is edited from its Japanese counterpart for extra commercial breaks, because America. So anyways, they're really nice sets. I have watched all of Digimon Adventure on Netflix now, because I was on vacation and I needed something to watch. But I have 02 here. Now this is advertised as the official second season. You can see the 6 main Digi destined here, including TK and Kari, again, who don't get all the marketing. You can see you got Davis and Vmon, TK and Patamon, Kari and Gatomon, Yali, and I can't remember his name right now. I'm so sorry. Cody and Armadillomon, Ken and Wormmon, and then you got Ty, Matt, and Sora, and Mimi, Izzy, and Joe. So it rounds out the 8-disc set, which is pretty neat. Now, what's interesting about Season 3, aside from the fact I can't get the case to close, it says Digimon Tamers at the top. This is just Season 3 in America, but they did put the Tamers name on there, which I thought was kind of cool. But you can see you got Chikado and Guillamon, him and Terriermon, her and Renamon. I know the Digimon better than I do. I honestly, I have not seen most of Tamers, so I'm just going to end it there. There's Leomon. I'm just going to flip through these discs and stop sounding like an idiot. I haven't watched Tamers in full. I have seen parts of it, mostly the part where they're in the digital world, thanks to Toon Disney, but that's about it. And then here we have Season 4, Digimon Frontier, or just Digimon Digital Monsters. They gave it, actually use this logo. I don't think the logo changed too much between Season 3 and 4, so they might have stuck Tamers on there to distinguish it a bit. I also like how each set is a distinctive color. And this one you got each kid with their spirit evolution. So you got all that going on there. And then you got the two little assistant Digimon. So that's really neat. Weird thing about these sets is that they don't close very well. Like, I can't get Season 3 to snap shut, even though the clips aren't broken. I mean, they're in the right place, they just won't close. But yeah, each has a guidebook. Each has character-specific discs. Each is a nice set. There's also a Digimon Data Squad set, like I had mentioned. That goes for about $50, and I'll need to pick that up when I get to Data Squad. And there is a Digimon Fusion Season 1 set, and I assume there's going to be a Digimon Fusion Season 2 and 3 when those get dubbed. Now, this does leave one thing out. Digimon the movie. So, if you don't own this DVD, good luck, because you probably won't find one. Fox Kids was Digimon's airing company, and Fox handled the movie distribution for this weird compilation of 3 movies that only 2 of are in canon to the series, so I kind of stopped watching after Omnimon's fight's over. But yeah, this is not getting re-released as far as I can tell. I've looked into this. It doesn't seem like New Video Group, who put out these sets, have the rights to this movie. It is still held by Fox, because 20th Century Fox did distribute this, and they might be holding on to this movie for some reason. They held on to the Power Rangers movie rights, and they re-release those DVDs every few years. They would have capitalized on that, but if you don't have the DVD, you're kind of out of luck, except for the fact you can find it on YouTube. Yeah, anyways, this is kind of an interesting thing, so I don't know where to put it. I could put it before, it kind of fits there, but if I put it after, it's like, well, that movie doesn't take place after the set, so I guess I'll just put it there. Anyways, that's Digimon. Let's talk about confusing releases, starting with, Thundercats. Thundercats, a great 80s series, and an even better 2011 series. Now, let's talk about Thundercats. Now, these releases aren't really confusing or mysterious. These are, so you get 33 episodes in the first set. This is Season 1, Volume 1. Then you got Season 1, Volume 2. It has the rest of the first season. It's another, like, 33-something episodes. Those are really neat. Picked those up at Walmart for $10 each during the new Thundercats premiered, and these got reissued. These two did not, and I had to go through a Best Buy backorder. Fun. Anyways, Season 2, Volume 1 has a link to all that stuff, so that's really fun. Same deal. It's got 1 through 34 through 65 of Season 2. So a whole set, 4 volumes. No complete series set ever released, but yeah, it's kind of weird. They reissued these two, but not these two. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the confusing part, and that would be the new Thundercats series. Here it is, on 3. Totally get that, so why is there 3 of these? Well, Volume 1 contains... Let's see, because is there numbers on here? No, this is just Book 1. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Ninja Turtles, a franchise that's revived 3 times, been successful each time, and has had 4 movies, live shows, all kinds of stuff. And the most confusing DVD releases I've ever seen in my 2012 when they finally finished it. And, yeah, like, this is confusing, especially since these discs are just replicated in the complete series set, and all the issues are still there. First of all, Volume 1 has falling DVD cases. I'm sorry. Volume 1 was released in 2000. Yeah, there's some coloring issues here. And then you go in the back, and you're like, alright, so you got Turtle Tracks, Enter the Shredder, A Thing About Rats, Hot Rod and Teenage Ninja X, Shredded and Splintered, and... So, we have the first 5 episodes, and we have 4 of... Confusion! Especially since the next thing is Volume 2, written out TWO. This contains 13 episodes. This is the entire second season. Called Season 2 instead of Volume 2. It gets more confusing. Volume 3 with the numerical 3. 12 episodes from Season 3. It's not all of Season 3. Season 3 have these really awkward things that don't really save space at all. But, oh well. Alright, let's continue the season trend for the rest of the releases. Season 5, it's in a pizza box. Ha ha ha. Season 6 is so short they just stuck it on one thing. Was actually needed to be in 4 parts. They each included a tiny Ninja Turtle figure with each of these, which I thought was actually really neat. They did compile this as a Season 7 set right after, so it wasn't too much of an issue. Each just marketed it all together as Season 7. You know, the European side season doesn't take place then. Then 8, 9, and 10 came out exactly 1 year after each other. These came out in the August of 2000. Now, are you ready? It's like, that's pretty straightforward, right? Okay, so you got the first 6 volumes make up the first 3 seasons, and the season 4 through 10 is season 4 through 10. Well, here's the deal. If you were to watch these straight through, you're gonna have problems. First of all, Volume 6 includes the first episode of Season 1, and that's all, or Season 4. Season 4's first episode is on Volume 6 and on Season 4. Okay. So they changed their mind halfway through production. The Season 5 set is missing Once Upon a Time Machine. The first episode of Season 5 is missing. And its 2-part finale, Planet of the Turtleoids, which aired as a primetime special, is not here either. And it wouldn't be of 4 episodes each. Which, okay, fine. You put out volumes, it's a 4-kid show, it's a thing they did with anime. They later released these 2-disc, 13-episode sets. Season 1 in on release day. Then there's no season set for Season 3. There's a Season 4 set that I saw once, did not have the money for, went back the next day, it was gone, never saw it again, now it's out of print. Because 4-kids, they suck. And Season 5, nothing. Season 6, 2014 Turtles movie. I totally bought this, and this is what kind of started me on a Turtles binge recently. I mean, this is a nice release. I have no complaints about this. But there was one other Ninja Turtles release, the 2012 series. I hope you enjoyed the format of we're not telling you anything with fast forward, because that seems to be the marketing strategy with 2012. The latest incarnation of the Ninja Turtles, the Nick Turtles, Nickelodeon Turtles, the 2012 Turtles, whatever you want to call them. I hadn't started watching this show when it first came out. I've honestly bought a lot of figures from the toy line that accompanies this show, but I have not actually watched the show until this DVD. Picked up this DVD because this is Rise of the Turtles. This is Volume 1, contains the first 6 episodes. I could not, none of them tell you what episode numbers these are. So you can see it just says Rise of the Turtles. It gives you Rise of the Turtles, Turtle Temper, New Friend, Old Enemy, I think his name is Baxter Stockman, Metalhead, and some bonus features. Open it up, you get a bio for Leonardo, which is pretty sweet, and you get a disc that says Rise of the Turtles. There is nothing saying this is Season 1, Volume 1, this is not Season 1, Part 1 of 3, this is not, here's episodes 1 through 6. At least Fast Forward told you what episode numbers these are. So, yeah, Ninja Turtles just has a lot of confusion around its DVD releases, and I think this solves the mystery of why we went with this setup today. Dragon Ball. The series that I'm going to have to add more DVDs to this one. Stupid decision that was made. Dragon Ball and GT are in 4:3. The movies are in the proper aspect ratio, depending on what they are. And the first movie set actually is History of Battle God Steelbook. Just saying. And that's why I'm a little worried that Funimation's not going to do this style for Super. Mostly because there's not as many episodes to put out at once, because they're probably going to put it out in volumes. But for the original Dragon Ball series run, this is awesome. I like the consistent art style. The packaging, you get the three different Shenrons, which is pretty nice. And overall, aside from the fact that they started with Z, did GT, then did Dragon Ball, I'm quite impressed. Also, this has the greatest, these sets have the greatest bonus feature of all time. I don't care anything. This is the best thing I've ever seen on DVDs, especially for a shonen anime. Marathon mode. You hit marathon mode, it cuts out your recap almost, because each disc lasts about 2.5 hours. You can just watch the show. You don't have to go back to the end credits, or it's like, what will happen on the next Dragon Ball Z? And then it just happens, instead of having to go through the credits and the recap and the episode preview and the end credits. It's like all that's gone. It's just they cut that out and they just let you watch the show. I wish more shows did this. I would love that, because it'd be like Netflix but on disc, which is what this is. I did not get to talking about Godzilla movies, mostly because I don't have the time or patience to do that today. Planning to have full reviews come out unless some unforeseen circumstances cause issues. We'll see. Anyways, till next time, saying, be sure to check out HeroTaku.com, and goodbye.